This is awkward.
Hello, my name is Erin Berry, and today I will be talking to you about vaccinating children and its effects if refused. According to the website bostonglobe.com, the American Academy of Pediatrics and the Center for Disease Control and Prevention have vouched for the safety of today's vaccine regimen. Insist vaccines are neither toxic in the doses given nor taxing to normal immune systems. According to a source from the Centers of Disease Control, the percentage of kindergartners who were not vaccinated because of a non-medical exemption in Florida of the 2012-2013 school year is about 0.1 to 1%. As we can see, vaccinations are a big part of American culture. More important to this discussion, vaccines play a huge role in the lives of our children. As well as we see, vaccines are more important than some people think. Today we are going to see why refusing vaccines is harmful to children by looking at the types of diseases they can contract and the severity of those diseases. Also, the other people who are at risk, believing the myths about vaccinating children, and today I will persuade you to vaccinate your children or at least reconsider becoming an anti-vaxxer. First of all, let us look at the types of diseases and the severity of the diseases children can contract if not vaccinated. Refusing vaccines allow children to take sick of various diseases. HPV, human papillomavirus. According to the US Today website, not enough children are getting vaccinated for HPV, in which they need. Human papillomavirus is actually a group of viruses that cause cancer throughout the entire body, which tend to affect men more than women. The vaccine for HPV doesn't just prevent HPV alone. It can also prevent other illnesses such as throat cancer and cervical cancer in girls. Girls who are not vaccinated are more likely to become infected. According to a report given by the President's Cancer Panel, there have been a safe and effective vaccine for HPV for 8 years now, and in those 8 years, only about 1/3 of the girls have been vaccinated with the recommended 3 doses. The severity of the diseases that children can contract if not vaccinated. Children who are not vaccinated when required may contract diseases at some point in their life, sometimes worse compared to children who are vaccinated and still get the disease. According to Dr. Lawrence Madoff, Director of Epidemiology and Immunization for Massachusetts, the risk of disease is not just borne by intentionally underimmunized children, but also by those unprotected for other reasons, such as infants too young or medically unfit for certain vaccines. Overall, people who choose not to prevent their children from diseases and cancers are asking for trouble when their children end up with certain diseases. Another type of disease unvaccinated children can get is the measles, which can cause pneumonia and brain swelling, which in rare cases can lead to death. Pertussis, mumps, rubella, meningitis, and polio are just some of the diseases children can suffer from if not vaccinated. Now that we have looked at how refusing vaccines can allow children to contract different viruses and diseases, let us look at how other people are at risk by children who are not vaccinated. In a highly unusual outbreak of measles last month, 12 children fell ill. 9 of them have not been inoculated against the virus because their parents objected, and the other 3 were too young to receive vaccines. Children who are not vaccinated when recommended are more likely to spread and infect other people around them. A deeply disturbing investigative piece in New York Times Magazine reveals that fully 245 of the city's private schools have vaccination rates that fall below the 95% level needed to ensure herd immunity. 127 fall below 97% and 37 fall below 70%. 9 schools fall in a dismal range of 18.4 to 41.5%. Not vaccinating children not only can cause a potential danger to their own health, but to others around them as well. A former Surgeon General on the New York Times website stated, "When you choose not to have your child immunized, you're cheating other kids. Their vaccinations protect your child. Not getting a child immunized is child abuse, even if you're not using a strap." Now that we have looked at how unvaccinated children can be a threat to others, let us talk about the myths and other reasons parents do not vaccinate their children. There have been many myths that place a stigma on vaccines, say that they cause certain disorders or other health issues. For example, vaccines cause autism. One of the biggest arguments is that vaccines can cause autism. Some people believe that vaccines have a toxin in them which is linked to autism. Some people also believe that vaccines cause autoimmune disease or seizures. Vaccines are messing with nature is another myth. They are messing with nature, as one pediatrician in a Marin County, California practice indulges parents who do not want to vaccinate their children or want to administer their shots on their own schedule. Some people believe that you can get injuries from receiving vaccines. Also, parents believe that it is better for their children to build natural immunities against diseases instead of giving them the virus through a shot. Finally, even though these are not myths, but some people use religious reasons to not have their children vaccinated. Because of their beliefs, some parents truly believe that vaccines can harm their children and overwhelm their bodies. Some people who do not have a legitimate reason to have their child exempt from receiving vaccines will use a religious reason. So, as we can see, not all the negative things you hear about vaccines are true. Parents who do not vaccinate their children are putting them at even more risk by allowing their children to be susceptible to harmful diseases that are